If you're finding yourself in a situation where you're having to rebuild a program, either one you currently have or a new program, you're going into a new school, then this video is for you and some of the things to consider in your curriculum planning. Welcome back to Passionate About Music Education. I'm Rachel Hardman, and today I'm going to talk about curriculum planning and how to revive your program. If you're an established teacher, often you have your own curriculum, your own scheme of work that you will take from school to school, because you know what works for certain year groups, particularly if you're teaching middle school or high school students. You know where they should be in the first 3 years of the middle school program and what they're working towards in terms of GCSE, AP or IB, whichever curriculum that you're going to be teaching. So we want to bring those curriculums straight in because we know that they work. But we have to also consider that we can keep the content, we might have to lower our expectation in terms of student performance. So what do I mean by that? In my current position, I'm doing a topic on film music, and they absolutely love film music. It's always worked really well in all the schools I've worked in for like year 9, so that 14-year-old student. And we look at leitmotifs, we look at composing, and we explore that as a practical task, and students work in groups and they perform their work for assessment. But because I've changed school and they didn't have music for a while, the students in M3 have really got the sort of foundation skills of performance work, keyboard skills, understanding of stave notation, structure in music, exploring. They still have that sort of same level as an M1 student, a year 7 student. So although the task they can achieve because they're academically the right age, in terms of their musical ability and what they've experienced further down the school, has been missed through no fault of their own, and certainly no fault of mine because I wasn't there. So when you're planning, you really have to take that into consideration, because although the topic will be good, they will obviously in terms of outcome struggle to do the same work as they'd had you for 3 years in that consistency. But that doesn't mean you should scrap that project and just do simple work with them, because it's important that we stretch our students, because you will always find in your group that you have some capable students who play instruments outside of school, who have some musical understanding. I think as teachers we have to be careful of our expectations. Not only expectations we put on ourselves, on our students, but also expectations that are placed upon us. Truthfully, if you are starting a program, what you do in year 1 should be built on in year 2 and year 3. But if you're taking students in a year 3 class who've not done the foundations in year 1 and 2, they are going to have gaps in their knowledge and the work that they're going to do, particularly in terms of performance work, composing work, listening analysis, is not going to be at the standard that you would normally expect, through no fault of their own, through no fault of yours. And we have to be careful of that expectation, and we have to be careful not to take that internally into us as us not doing a good enough job, because everybody in that situation would struggle to fix that gap of knowledge quickly. But what we can do is identify the skills that they need for a topic. So for instance, my students in year 8, which is the second year of course, are doing a topic on form and structure. They've missed out on the keyboard skills and the basic composing topics that I would have done in year 1. So when we're doing the form structure, I actually sat down and really worked out, they were doing a task writing binary music and writing a piece of meditation music that is in binary form. And I had to sit down and work out, how would I do this? How would I compose this music myself? What tips and tricks can I give them to break it down so that they can do this task quickly, effectively, and feel great success in themselves? So sometimes, even though they had missing gaps from year 1, it was looking at what knowledge can I give them quickly that will allow them to do work that is of the standard I'm expecting for their year group and their age. So when you are changing schools, when you're going back to rebuild your curriculum, really think about the 2 or 3 key skills that you want your students to have, what they've missed out on, break down how that is. Be careful not to get bogged down in too much theory, because we are wanting our students to have that general music appreciation, to understand about music, to have a love for music and the arts long after leaving school. Hope this has been helpful, and if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and share and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again here soon. I'm Rachel Hardman, and this is Passionate About Music Education.